everyone, this is Inara here, and I'm here to start our first section of the YouTube series that we have started under the name Inara Speaks. Basically, since many people have asked me, let me tell you, Inara is my pseudonym and Inara means light. So today we are here thanks to all of you who have encouraged me to take this venture forward. Because the main intention behind taking up this venture is I want to reach out to people who have been fighting with life, with different issues of life. And in this long short journey of 27 years, I'm 27 now, I have encountered many people, teenagers going through severe depressive episodes. Even older persons have often spoken with me, shared their feelings, their problems that they undergo, the mental disturbances they undergo, and a lot of things that are going on in society. But then life always has a positive side too, and that is where we find light. Even though there is a hell lot of darkness, there is a tiny single crack where light can peek through, and that light is Inara. So yes, here I am to tell you how to look for the light, because it is you only who can find the light, the happiness, the abundance that is the ultimate goal of every individual. Because to tell you, success in terms of money or materialistic gains is nothing. It won't lead you anywhere. It won't give you inner satisfaction. The deep inner satisfaction of being constantly happy in constant abundance is what is important to each one of us. And most importantly, when we leave this earth, when we go beyond the horizon, beyond this eternal, beyond this realm of humanity to the eternal, from the transcendental to the eternal, what we leave behind will be the memories that we have made with others, how many lives we have touched, how many smiles we have brought on other people's faces, how many changes that we have made for the society. All those will keep us alive even though after we are gone. And each of us is a kindled spirit. Let's keep up the spirit of life by celebrating life and all the small little everyday joys that it offers us. Everybody has a dark side too, a dark past too. And the civilization, the current society, with all its atrocities, this sheer competitiveness among the youth, and the rat race for money, power, prestige, position, everything, it's been ruining society. To quote a few lines from one of the famous Anglo-American authors, Nobel Prize winning author William Golding, in his famous novel that I read not once but many times over, because I was so deeply inclined into what he had written that every word of it pierced my soul. I would like to read out a couple of lines. He wrote in his famous novel Lord of the Flies that the civilization, like the presumed innocence of childhood, is nothing more than a foolish dream meant to cover humanity's innate brutality. And in this modern dystopia, the host of issues, social, political, cultural, personal, professional, have proven beyond doubt that man is gradually turning into a beast, masked into the folds of civilization. But isn't it high time to come out from the shackles of stereotypes and raise our voices against the evils proliferating the society? Shouldn't we bring out time to live for ourselves, be happy for what we are, celebrate the uniqueness that is in each of us, celebrate life in spite of all its hurdles and obstacles? Isn't it worth it? Don't you think that you were born on this earth not just as a coincidence, let's say? No. You were born because you have a destination to reach. You are born because you are going to be a hero one day. And that self-belief is going to lead you a long way. I've seen teenagers, I've dealt with teenagers dealing with depression. I've constantly counseled many of them. And through the process, I thought that let us open up a channel where I can reach out to more people, where more people can reach out to me and together we can create a better world, a world filled with little more hope, a little more love, a little less uh, bitterness, a little more of happiness, a beautiful world, a bright world, a world where Inara speaks and we all rejoice in the light, where we all are kindled spirits. So the thing is, to begin with, at the age of 27, I have 4 poetry collections and 2 novels to my credit. So often people keep asking me, how did you start writing at such an early age? Let me tell you, writing has always been my passion since my childhood days. Creativity is something which every one of us has in us, and whether it's in the form of writing, painting, photography, whatever it is, it's creativity, and it's for you to discover how you find your creativity. Well, I'll tell you the story of how I started my journey of writing. Late in November 2012, late in December 2012, around the time when I was suffering from severe hypochromic anemia and bone marrow depression at the age of 22. In the dark glooms of a hospital room far away from the capital city of Delhi, where I currently stay in my hometown back in Bhubaneswar, I was under treatment, undergoing multiple blood transfusions for severe hypochromic anemia and bone marrow depression, and the chances of my survival were almost negligible. The prognosis was really bleak. Having entered into my dream institution, Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU, New Delhi, for doing my masters in English literature, suddenly I was at the top of the world, and then after a couple of more months, this sudden predicament out of the blue literally shattered me completely. I had no clue what to do. But then, that night in the hospital room, when my dad told me that why don't you start compiling a collection of poems that we could publish on your 23rd birthday. Well, my birthday falls on 12th of May. So that was towards end of December or early December 2012. So that was nearly 6 months, more than 6 months left for my birthday. And I thought this was something like an ironic response. Like, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or even after a week also, because the prognosis was so bad. I was literally on my deathbed. And yet this idea from my dad being a very positive person, this idea, kindled something in my mind. And then I thought that, if death is decided to claim me at this age, an age where I have so many dreams, so many things before me, so many hopes of, not for myself but for the world, for people, for others. If death has decided to claim me at this stage, then let me give a final fight against death. And that final fight would be to leave an imprint of me even after I am not here any longer. And that is when I decided to pen my poems. I remember those dark hours in the hospital nights, the silver and light of the moon streaming in through the curtains, the light wind, and the catheter of the syringe that is fixed on the needle of the needle fixed on my fingers of the tube that was holding the blood while the transfusion was on. With utmost difficulty, I lifted myself up and I started penning down my poems on a notepad that was, somewhere beside the bedside. So the first poem that I wrote was dedicated to my grandfather, who passed away a few years before that at the age of 100, and it was written, the poem was on him, and it was titled 100 Years of Unbound Wisdom. So after that, gradually, along with each passing day, writing became a source of elixir for me. I knew there would be bad days, there would be worse days, but then I continued surviving with the hope that even if the worst happens and I'm not here to see my book getting published, even though my first book would be a posthumous launch, but still the world, or at least a part of the world, a very small part of the world who know me, would remember me forever through my verses. But ultimately death was defeated, and on my 23rd birthday on 12th May 2014, I ascended the podium with the first book of mine, The Newborn. And that day, not only I, but all those guests of honor, the guests on the dais, and all the friends and family from far and abroad who had gathered to be a part of the event had tears in their eyes. They were saluting a survivor who had become, in a sense, a medical miracle. And that's how I came to know about the basics of just talking about basic positivity. There should be an element of positivity in us, in all of us, in spite of all the hurdles that we are currently undergoing through. Because hurdles will always be there, and the higher you climb the ladder of success, the greater will be the hurdles. The graph of life is never a straight one. It is always an uphill climb, especially when you are trying to go for success. So it's very important to maintain positivity in spite of all the difficulties that are dragging you down. Particularly for me, right now after completing my Masters in English Literature from JNU, I am preparing for this Indian Civil Services examination, which is considered one of the toughest examinations in the entire world also. So yeah, we often in our preparations also we go through highs and lows, not only me, most of my friends, and it's very normal. It's quite normal for you to experience a low feeling, feel that I'm not able to do how much I wanted to do, not able to achieve how much I wanted to achieve, I'm not reaching my mark. I recently read in Quora also, somebody asking that this time I didn't clear my civil services, I'm already 26, do you think I should give up on my life because I feel like a failure? That question shocked me. What makes you think that you are a failure just because you haven't been able to clear an examination? Does that examination determine the entire thing, the entire effort that you have put into building yourself? You in yourself are a unique masterpiece. Let me tell you, each of you has his or her own unique individualities which are crafted in as different a sequence as the hundreds and thousands of genomic sequences that are there in different human, animal and plant bodies. So we don't know, we fail to recognize our unique talents, our unique individualities, and we go by the herd norm. Whatever the others are doing, I too will do that. My friend is doing this, so I'll also do this. No, things don't work that way. First look into yourself, look deep into yourself and ask yourself, what I need to be happy? What should I do to keep myself happy? Money and power won't give you satisfaction. It is only when you do what you are happy about, that is what is going to bring you real satisfaction. For me, satisfaction is writing. And I don't write for money. That's the reason I never promote my books also. Because I write for a cause. I write to spread my words amongst people. People get to know. More important than people get to know me is important that people get a message from what I write, and that I have received so many comments and even personal calls from people telling me that you have been an inspiration for us, and that always propels me forward. And I feel that through this platform, if we all could come together to learn about life, to celebrate the beauty of life, to celebrate the beauty of each one of us, then indeed a lot of us could gain a lot of things. We all have our mistakes, our weaknesses, our shortcomings. But then life was never meant to be perfect. You were born to be free, not to be perfect. Always remember that. That's most important. So celebrate who you are, despite all those what you consider imperfections or flaws or dents. They are not imperfections. They are your uniqueness. They are your unique beauty, your unique build-up. So celebrate who you are and take things one day at a time. Each day, a small little task that you can do is stand in front of the mirror for 2 minutes or maybe a minute and tell yourself that I am grateful for all the abundance that I have received in my life. I went through this storm and I came out of it alive. After that I realized that yes, I have the capability of going further. Even in this journey after that, I have been through many hurdles, and yet because of the blessings that I have received from my elders, the love, the best wishes from my family members, most of all my parents, my best friends, and so many other people I haven't even met other than on social media. They keep on encouraging me. They have been a constant source of strength and support for me. So I am here for all of you. Anytime anyone wants to talk, wants to reach out, you can reach out to me on my mail ID, which I'll post below this video. You can anyways text me, message me, and I'll definitely try to get back to you. All I'm trying to do through this platform is bring out the positivity, the vibrancy, the uniqueness of life that each one of us possesses. You are important, if not for anybody else, then for yourself. Because remember, you were born with a purpose, and in this life, the ultimate satisfaction you will get is when you fulfill that purpose. You are the hero of the story, and this life is one life that you have got, and make this your masterpiece. So that's it. That's all about the first video is about. We'll be coming up with more such positivity, positive ideas, positive thoughts. I'll read out poems, and then in our next session, most probably I'll be talking about one of my most favorite poets, another young poet whose writings have always, have been a real sense of inspiration to me, making me think about the deeper sense of the human mind and the amalgamations that it possesses. So we'll be talking about that too. And besides, we'll keep on building ourselves. We'll keep on celebrating who we are, and we will celebrate our strengths, and at the same time we will make an effort to find out our weaknesses and turn our weaknesses into our strengths. Remember, the moment you turn your weaknesses into your strengths, what you fear starts fearing you, and ultimately the choice to choose or not to choose is with you. So it's you only who has to take this first step, and this first step towards self-acceptance is going to take you a long way in the journey of life and in the journey of success, and take you to places, to heights where you might never have even imagined being in before. So yeah, that is all about it for today, and all the viewers who have been listening to this, who have been seeing this episode, please do comment below whether you liked it, and most importantly, please let me know what would you like me to focus on next week. We have a variety of issues like social issues, then we have literature, we have life, we have philosophy, we have photography, we have our interests, we have travelogues, we have real life events and stories that we can discuss. We can discuss about dealing with loss of dear ones, loved ones, dealing with depression, or maybe like dealing with the peer pressure that students of today are going through, and particularly people appearing for competitive exams, the kind of depression that they feel that they're completely let down, they've become worthless. We can talk about that also. And poetry is always there, writing is always there, because for me, as I said, poetry is all that defines me. So Inara is light, and this is the way I would like to come to the end. Do post your comments on what we could discuss in the next episode, which is probably coming up next week. So stay tuned for more. Lovely having you here with us, and hopefully with all your help and with all your views and your support, we all will improve, we all will become kindled spirits, growing brighter and higher and bigger and shining in our own light. Thank you so much.